Did you know there's a 90-second rule when it comes to emotions? Dr. Jill Bolt Taylor, a brain scientist, brought this to light in her book, My Stroke of Insight. Here's how it goes. When something happens that makes you feel a certain way, your body releases chemicals that create the feeling of that emotion. But guess what? Those chemicals are flushed out of your body in just about 90 seconds. So what does that mean? It means that any feeling that lasts more than 90 seconds is because we're choosing to stay in that emotional state. We start to replay or dwell on the event that caused the emotion, which basically pushes the replay button on the whole chemical process in our body. We're keeping ourselves stuck in that emotional loop. So why does this matter? It's important because when you understand how this works, you have a lot more access to being able to manage your emotions. It's like suddenly finding the remote control to your feelings. This isn't about pretending you don't have emotions or pushing them away, but understanding how they work so that you can better regulate them. When you know it's your thoughts that are keeping an emotion going past the first 90 seconds, you're in the driver's seat. You can look at the thoughts you're having and decide whether they're helping or hindering you. For example, let's say someone makes a comment that makes you feel insulted and you're starting to get pretty mad about it. If you stop and look at your thoughts, you might notice you're replaying that comment over and over in your head. You're probably also adding some extra thoughts like, they always disrespect me, or they did that on purpose to make me feel bad. But what if you could hit the pause button on those thoughts? What if you could ask yourself if they're definitely true, or if there might be another way to look at the situation? Maybe the person didn't mean to insult you, or maybe they're just having a bad day and it's not really about you at all. Our thoughts are powerful. They're like the director of a movie, calling the shots and deciding what scene comes next. When we're in an emotional loop, our thoughts are replaying the same scene over and over again, triggering the same chemical reactions and feelings. Imagine you're watching a movie that has a really sad scene. If that scene was played on a loop, you'd probably start to feel pretty down after a while. The same thing happens in our minds when we replay an event that caused us to feel a certain way. But the cool part is, just like we can choose to stop watching a movie, we can choose to shift our thoughts and stop the emotional loop. It's not always easy, especially when the emotions are strong, but it's definitely possible. And the first step is simply being aware that our thoughts are what's keeping the emotion going. Now, that doesn't mean that we should always try to stop our emotions after 90 seconds. Emotions aren't bad things. They're just signals giving us important information about what's happening around us. For example, fear may tell us when we're in danger, or happiness lets us know when we're doing something we enjoy. But problems arise when we get stuck in an emotion and don't know how to get out of it. That's where understanding the 90-second rule and the power of our thoughts can really help. When we can shift our thought patterns, we can change our feelings and behaviors. It's a really effective way to manage a range of issues from anxiety and depression to stress and self-esteem. Big picture-wise, once you know about the 90-second rule, you can start to take charge of your emotions instead of feeling like they're always running the show. Remember, emotions aren't good or bad. They're just signals. And with this awareness, you can better understand those signals and know that you have a choice in how you want to respond. It might take a bit of practice, but just like any skill, the more you use it, the better you'll get. So the next time you feel a strong emotion coming on, give it a try. See what happens when you let the emotion wash over you for 90 seconds. And then take a moment to notice your thoughts. Are they extending the emotion or letting it pass? Remember, you have the power to choose.